Hi first graders, it's Mrs. Briggs here for another reading lesson. Today's video will cover 2 days. So if this is the first day, day 1 of the story When I Am Old With You, then you are going to focus on retelling using beginning, middle, and end. If it is day 2, you are going to focus on the characters, granddaddy and the child, and thinking of words you could use to describe them. And we'll go over those at the end of this video too. So the story today is called When I'm Old With You. It is found on page 16 of your green book that has the rabbits on the front. So you can follow along in your book. Otherwise, I will have the story on the screen and you can just follow along on there as well. We are going to start by looking at some of the words that we'll come across. And some of you have probably done this in your classrooms too before stories. So again, the story that we're going to be reading is When I Am Old With You. We are actually going to start on page 14 if you are following along in your green book. If you're following along on the screen, then I'm going to have it up here for you. So starting with my granddaddy. Read about the special things a grandfather and grandchild do in the next story. So some words that we will need to know. I would love for you to read them out loud with me. I will point to them as we read them. Our first word is around, though, dance, by, else, my, open, try, talk, cry, ever, any, ocean, granddaddy. Now let's practice using those words in sentences. Again, you can read these with me. So here are our practice sentences. Number 1, my granddaddy likes to take walks by the ocean. Number 2, he likes to dance when no one else is around. Number 3, we try to talk every day. Number 4, sometimes we're too busy to talk though. Number 5, when I miss him, I start to cry. Number 6, any day now, I will open my door and there he will be. Number 7, he is the best granddaddy ever. Oh, excuse me. And here are some pictures of kids with their granddaddies. Some of you might have grandparents that are still alive, grandfathers, grandpas, some call them papa. There are different names for our grandparents. Today's story is going to focus on a child with his granddaddy. All right, starting the story. Again, if you're following along in your book, your green book, it is on page 16. These pictures that you see on the screen are taken from a green book, so you can follow along on here as well. Again, if this is day 1, I want you to think about what is the beginning, middle, and end of the story. How can you retell that? I'm going to switch back to this real quickly. If it's day 1, in the beginning, what do you need to make sure you include? Great, yes, we need the setting, the characters, and a first event of the story. In the middle, what do you need to make sure you include? Exactly, we need the problem in the story. What is the problem? What are they trying to fix here? And then at the end, what do we need? Exactly, we need the solution to the problem that we wrote in the middle. All right, and if it's day 2, then you already did this yesterday. If it is day 2, I want you to think about how you can describe granddaddy and how you can describe the child, and we'll talk about this at the end too. So what are some words you could use to describe them? All right, When I Am Old With You. This is a story by Angela Johnson, and the pictures are by David Selman. Here we have the granddaddy and the child in the story. When I am old with you, Granddaddy, I will sit in a big rocking chair beside you and talk about everything. Oh, here's Granddaddy with their dog. An old dog will sit by my feet, and I will swat flies all afternoon. Swat. I will swat flies all afternoon. What does that mean? Yeah, if we look at the picture, you can kind of tell that the child is swinging around this fly swatter, so moving it around, trying to get the flies away. We're swatting at them. And even the dog is swatting at this butterfly. We'll go fishing too, Granddaddy, down by that old pond with the flat rocks all around. We can fish beside the pond, or take that old canoe out. The pictures can kind of give you a good idea of where they are in the beginning of the story too. If you looked at the pictures on the first page, think about the setting, who the characters are. Oh, it looks like they're going fishing. We'll eat out of the picnic basket all day, and we won't catch any fish. But that's all right, Granddaddy. Some of you can probably make a connection to going fishing and not catching anything. I can connect to that. Here we have a truck. When I am old with you, Granddaddy, we will play cards all day underneath that old tree by the road. Here they are playing cards by that old tree. We'll drink cool water from a jug and wave at all the cars that go by. This page is just a picture. I wonder what these yellow spots are. I bet we'll find out on the next page. Oh, there's more. We'll play cards till the lightning bugs shine in the trees. And we won't mind that we forgot to keep score, Granddaddy. Again, if this is day one, I want you to be thinking about, is there a problem that we're trying to solve here? Oh, looks like Granddaddy's up in an attic. When I am old with you, Granddaddy, we will open up that old cedar chest and try on all the old clothes that your granddaddy left you. Now I see the word cedar, and some of you have maybe heard that before. That old cedar chest. So I'm looking at this chest and it looks like it's made out of wood. So cedar is a type of wood. And on this page, it looks like they're looking at some old photographs. We can look at the old pictures and try to imagine the people in them. It might make us cry, but that's okay. Oh, now it looks like they're having a good time. I can tell by the facial expressions that the child has. I see a smile here. Let's find out what they're so happy about. In the mornings, Granddaddy, we will cook bacon for breakfast, and that's all. We can eat it on the porch, too. Oh, this looks like they're having a party outside. Oh, and they're roasting something over the fire. What do you think that is? Let's find out. In the evening, we can roast corn on a big fire and invite everyone we know to come over and eat it. They'll all dance, play cards, and talk about everything. When I am old with you, Granddaddy, we can take a trip to the ocean. Have you ever seen the ocean, Granddaddy? I want you to pause here and think about if you've ever seen the ocean. Did you see it in real life? Maybe you've seen pictures. Imagine yourself at the ocean, taking a trip with someone that you really care about. We'll walk on the hot sand and throw rocks at the waves. We can wear big hats in the afternoon like everyone else. And we'll sit in the water when the day gets cool. When our trip is over, we will follow the ocean as far as we can, so we'll never forget it. When I am old with you, Granddaddy, we will get on the tractor and ride through the fields of grass. Have any of you ever been on a tractor? We will see the trees in the distance and remember when this field was a forest. We won't be sad, though. Granddaddy, when I am old with you, we will take long walks and speak to all the people who walk by us. We'll know them all, Granddaddy, and they'll know us. Looks like they're going for a walk, saying hi to everyone they're walking past. Oh, and they're waving back. At the end of our walk, when we're tired, Granddaddy, I will sit in a big rocking chair beside you. Something fun about this story, if you go back to the very first page, and I'll show you on here, the very first page of the story. See if I can find it. Oh, here it is. On page 17, it starts with, when I am old with you, Granddaddy, I will sit in a big rocking chair beside you and talk about everything. I want you to notice the child in this picture and the Granddaddy. Then if we go to that last page of the story, see here, the last page. Again, they're sitting in the rocking chairs. But you'll notice something about the child and the Granddaddy. Do they look exactly the same as the first page? No, they don't. They are older now, and they are sitting in the rocking chairs beside each other.